and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway. Tonight, the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series will compete in 5-division competition on Burke's Hot Dog Night. This evening, we will present our opening ceremonies with help from Boy Scout Pack 31 from West Mifflin, with help from Ray Kaiser of the New Stanton United Methodist Church, and help from Melissa Grimm, who will sing our national anthem. At this time, we ask that each and every one of you please rise up from your seats, and gentlemen, remove your caps. If you are moving around the Speedway grounds, we ask that you pause with us momentarily for our opening ceremonies. And this evening, a special treat for you headed into next week's Independence Day celebration. Boy Scout Pack 31 from West Mifflin will lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, guys? Hand salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to Cub Scout Pack 31 of West Mifflin, and if you will now please remain standing for our invocation from the New Stanton United Methodist Church, Mr. Ray Kaiser.
Dear Lord God, we thank you for blessing us with this fine evening, Lord. We pray that your hands would be on each of us here in the stands and over all the drivers, Lord God. Protect them. Help us to have a fun evening and to have joy in your presence, Lord. We give thanks to you for everything you do. In Jesus' name, amen.
And to sing our national anthem, Melissa Grimm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to Cub Scout Pack 31, to Ray Kaiser and Melissa Grimm. Now, race fans, are you ready to go NASCAR racing? Then it's Aaron Minjock and Jason Holder, the 50 of Manganello and the 15 of points leader Heilman, as we're green and racing. Going 3 wide in the battle for 3rd position. Now the battle for 4th. Heilman all over the racetrack tries to gather it up as Manganello uses the apron, but up front they are side by side. It's a dead heat at the scoring line on lap 1. Joe Nicola in car 69 and Bill Henry in car 64. Both of these drivers in 2008 have multiple heat race victories. Henry, your leader, a 2-time feature winner, and Nicola in car 69, a winner in week number 2 of competition. Driver in 3rd position on the Speedway was the opening night feature winner in the 74. That's Jason Holder. Then it's Heilman and the 34 of Minjock battling side by side in turn 3 with the 50 of Manganello. Bill Henry smoking and dripping fluid out of the back of the 64 car. The leader pulls out of competition with a serious mechanical problem. He nearly slid in whatever that fluid is coming out of the car, perhaps water. As Henry 64 last week, he was in victory lane after the 20-lap feature. Tonight he's headed pit side, surrendering the lead to Joe Nicola in car 69. Nicola has 5 heat race victories this season. Meanwhile, into second spot now, Jonathan Heilman, the points leader in car 15. Third position still belongs to Holder in the 74, then Manganello in the 50. Top 3 drivers on the Speedway have all won feature events in 2008. They have all won heat races as well. And the signal of 2 laps to go for Joe Nicola in car 69. Challenge now for third as Tony Manganello in the 50 car. One of the AK chassis teammates to the Kostelnik brothers, looking to challenge Holder. Manganello in the 50 car. A couple of second place runs recently, still looking for his first Motordrome checkered flag. White flag signals final time around. Dominant heat race winner up front with less than half a lap to go. West Mifflin, Pennsylvania driver, the only Ford-powered automobile in the field, coming out of turn number 4. And for the 6th time this season, Joe Nicola wins the heat race over Jonathan Heilman, Jason Holder, Tony Manganello, and Andrew Kostelnik. As he starts 6th in this 6-car, 8-lap heat race for the Subway Street Stocks. Don Blank in 45 and Shawn Phillips in 31. Bring them up to full speed. Green flag is out. Shawn Phillips out in front of Don Blank. Blank, a longtime competitor, a racing grandfather in second position. Best battle is for 4th. Andrew Kostelnik, the winner a couple weeks back, fighting with the 76 of Tom Knight Sr., nearly making contact there, and Rapid Race Simbali losing body parts from the 38 machine. The racing rookie pulls to the inside lane. Shawn Phillips, the race leader in car 31, a feature winner last season, and the model of consistency throughout 2008. Battle developing for second position. Andrew Kostelnik started last, and after winning the feature a couple of weeks ago, he's side by side with veteran Don Blank. And taking over second position at the midpoint of this event, 4 laps down, 4 to go. Andrew Kostelnik is now the runner-up. Shawn Phillips with a big lead. He is 3rd in the championship point standings coming into tonight's racing action. Just a reminder that we do award track championship points for heat race competition. So these drivers are battling toward the Motordrome Track Championships with their heat race performances. And Shawn Phillips has just 2 laps to go to a possible 3rd win of the season in preliminary action. Kostelnik, Andrew Kostelnik, that is, into second position. Then it's Don Blank and Teddy Gabala, 2 drivers in 3rd and 4th position on opposite ends of the age spectrum. Blank, the racing grandfather, Gabala, the teenager in car 3. Final time around the Speedway, 31 of Shawn Phillips from Jefferson, Pennsylvania. Championship contender just as he was last season. Coming out of turn 4 for the 3rd time this season, he is a heat race winner over Andrew Kostelnik, Don Blank, Teddy Gabala, and Tom Knight Sr. laps of feature competition last week from Jefferson Hills. Green flag is out, 8 laps for the modifieds. The 81 of Pete Reck is out to an early lead. Reck last year was a dirt track limited late model feature winner at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He switched over to pavement, he switched over to modifieds, he won a feature, and now he's fighting for his life. On lap 1 of this modified heat race, he slung it sideways out of turn 4 like he was still on the dirt. This time, drifting up the banking, opening the lane for Bobby Ship to take the lead in the 0-4. Former Charger Division champion out in front from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. In second spot, 4-time and defending champion of this division, Adam Kostelnik in car 60. Big Leone Racing entry now pulling away from Pete Reck in third. It's Jim Nicola in fourth, Rick Huffman in fifth, and the lead battle could get intense momentarily as Bobby Ship is holding off Adam Kostelnik. Into turn 1 on lap 3 of 8. Kostelnik not able to make a challenge. Bobby Ship last season got his first career modified victory, and the former Charger champion has last year's 2-division champ on his heels. Kostelnik not only the modified titleist, but also picked up the championship title in the Subway Street Stocks a year ago. Kostelnik will change to the outside lane at the midpoint of this event. The Viglione Racing number 60 car diving to the inside again in turn 3. After looking to the high side in turn 1, Adam Kostelnik will take the lead on the front straight with 3 laps remaining. Kostelnik coming into tonight is the points leader by 18 points over George Nicola, who will be out in heat race number 2. Bobby Ship, who is second on the racetrack, is third in the championship standings coming into tonight. 2 laps to go for leader Kostelnik. Back in the pack now, a battle for 4th position as Rick Huffman in car 9, the Infidel t-shirt sponsored machine, looking to the inside of Pittsburgh's Jim Nicola in 5. White flag signals final lap. That action still heated back in the pack as Huffman and Nicola battle for a spot. But coming to the start-finish line out of turn 4, the defending champion, Adam Kostelnik, a 5-time heat race winner now over Bobby Ship, Pete Reck, Jim Nicola, and Rick Huffman. And from right here in Smithton and outside the 0 is Chris Brink. No start that time, false start. Gonna wave the caution flag, bring him back and try for an even start one more time. Gary Scott in car 16, 2 weeks ago the feature winner, then Brian Ship in 40 as the green flag waves. 8 laps for the modifieds. Tom Frank in car 6, the Stans transmissions machine. Looking to hold on to second, but he lost 4 or 5 car lengths at the start to George Nicola, the 2-time feature winner in car 97. With Nicola the leader, Tom Frank in second, it's Gary Scott, car 16, sponsored by popular band The Clarks, along with Swissvale Music, then the 40 of Brian Ship, and the 58 of Lonnie Hoffman, the Aero Automotive Al Civic machine. Working lap 2 of 8. Single file action with George Nicola opening up a big lead. Nicola has 2 feature victories this season. Look at Brian Ship, the young driver in car 40, trying to challenge veteran Gary Scott. Brian Ship has yet to win a feature in modified competition after graduating from the Charger division. And at the midpoint of this event, with crossed flags signaling halfway, Brian Ship was looking to challenge Gary Scott for 3rd. working lap 5, and although Gary Scott was able to fight off the 40 of Brian Shipp, he was also able to gain on the driver in second position, Tom Frank. Gary Scott now moving to the outside. He's never shy about outside groove passes here at Motordrome. And the veteran go-kart champion, Gary Scott, challenging the young many-time go-kart champion, Tom Frank. Might be a 3-car fight for second position before the end of this one, as race leader George Nicola has obliterated this field and takes the white flag, signaling final time around. Second place is still anybody's race out of turn 2. This time Gary Scott loses a couple car lengths, but out of turn number 4. Another heat race win for Pittsburgh's George Nicola in car 97. In second, it's Tom Frank. Third, Gary Scott. Fourth, Brian Shipp. And fifth, Lonnie Hoffman. John Komarinsky from Greensburg. Green flag is out. 10 laps of preliminary competition for the NASCAR Pizza Hut Super Late Models. Mark Poole out in front. Neil Brown drops into second. Richard Mitchell takes the third spot away from young Cody Quarrick on lap 1. The Howard Concrete Pumping sponsored Chevrolets surrounding the Ford of Neil Brown in second as Mark Poole the leader. Richard Mitchell third. Neil Brown, the leading winner of the season, is second. And side by side is the battle for fourth. Cody Quarrick had the inside lane. Gary Wiltrout makes an outside pass and moves up to fourth. Now Quarrick 3 wide on the back straight with Todd Price inside and Steve Black outside. John Komarinsky in the 33 has to get on the binders to avoid contact. Green flag is still out. Mark Poole still the leader, working lap 3 of 10. A challenge for second position that time out of turn number 2. It looked like Richard Mitchell was going to try the high lane around Neil Brown, but nothing doing. Mark Poole has been a feature winner at Motordrome and at Jennerstown, and he leads the way with a healthy advantage over Neil Brown, the only 4-time feature winner of the season. And then in third, the 3-time former track champion Richard Mitchell, who has been shockingly shut out of victory lane this season. And he may be in jeopardy of losing third as Gary Wiltrout in car 95. Another former champion started deep in this field and looks to the inside of Mitchell out of turn 4. Working lap 6 of 10. Mitchell and Wiltrout, both drivers, former champions of Motordrome and of Jennerstown Speedway, making a 3-car fight for second, third, and fourth. Wiltrout dives to the inside after borrowing a car for last week's 100-lapper. We're 3 wide. 3 wide all the way down the front straight. Both cars closing in on Neil Brown. Mitchell makes his outside move on lap 7 now, holding door to door with Neil Brown down the back straight. Brown on the inside, Mitchell on the outside. Will Wiltrout make it 3 wide again on the front straight? Brown continues to hold the runner-up spot. 2 laps to go. Mark Poole with a big lead. Heated action for second. Almost 3 wide out of turn 2 again. Mitchell glued to the outside of Neil Brown. Gary Wiltrout in fourth. White flag signals final lap to leader Mark Poole. We were 3 wide again briefly in 4. And now Richard Mitchell on the final lap takes hold of second position around the outside of Brown. In turns 3 and 4. For the second time this season, 84 Pennsylvania's Mark Poole is a heat race winner over Richard Mitchell, Neil Brown, Gary Wiltrout, and Todd Price. And the 64 of rookie Michael Zombar take the green flag for 10 laps of action in the NASCAR Pizza Hut Super Late Models. Tommy Beck out in front, just as he was last week in the Penn West Toyota Lift 100 when disaster struck. Last year's leading feature winner, Tommy Beck in car 60 with 1 victory this season. leading Dan Lewis. Then it's Mark Catone in third. And side by side, the rookie and the veteran. 26 of teenager Nathan Russell and defending champion Bobby Henry in the 11. Henry takes the 4th position away from rookie Russell. And now Catone and Henry, 2 former track champions, 3rd and 4th on the pavement. Dan Lewis in the 8 car, all by himself in 2nd. And out in front on lap 3 of 10, former Jennerstown Speedway track champion Tommy Beck in car 60. Tommy, a new father, a one-time feature winner this season and dominated the win column a year ago. Coming into tonight 1 point behind Bobby Henry in the championship chase after failing to finish last week's 100-lapper with a broken rear end. A big lead for Beck, then Lewis in the 8 seems to be losing just a little bit of ground to Mark Catone's Ford number 31. Mark Catone, the 1995 and 2001 Motordrome Speedway NASCAR Pizza Hut Super Late Model Track Champion in 3rd. Bobby Henry, the defending champ, is 4th. Laps to go, cars single file around the speedway. Beck the leader, Lewis 2nd, Catone 3rd, Henry 4th, Russell 5th. Laps to go, the signal given to the Stands Transmissions. Monarch Oil Chevrolet number 60 from the Benz Motorsports stable, driven by Tommy Beck. Battle for 2nd is getting closer, as here on the final lap, Dan Lewis has a rear view mirror full of Mark Catone. Lewis was a standout competitor in our now defunct truck division here at Motordrome. And it looks like he will be able to hold off Catone, the former champion, but out of turn number 4. Another heat race victory for Tommy Beck in car 60 over Dan Lewis, Mark Catone, Bobby Henry, and Nathan Russell. 5 is 5-time winner Jimmy Stokes. 12 is Roger Bryan. 1 is Tracy Keller. Side by side for the lead, Bruce Hamilton, the former modified driver on the outside, and Ed Neidhart in car 68, who has recently led numerous feature laps. He's going to take the lead again, and the defending champion Lemley follows right through as Bruce Hamilton drifted very high in turns 3 and 4. The 5 of Bill Oldham challenging for 3rd position. Oldham, a graduate of the American Flyers division, and got his first 2 career feature victories earlier this season. Look at sideways Stokes hanging the back end out in turn 4. His teammate Matt Gardner has to back off to let Stokes gather it back up, and they are riding just off the rear bumper of the Hamilton 29 car that breaks loose, and down the back straight, Mike Lemley nearly spins while challenging for the lead in car 4. That allows Ed Neidhart to open up a several car length lead advantage in the quest for his first checkered flag. Lemley falling back now at the midpoint of this event, lap 3 of 6. Loose handling race cars all throughout this field. Hamilton got loose a couple times, dropped out of the top 5 after starting on row 1. Lemley got loose while challenging for the lead. Now he's a distant 2nd. Stokes got loose in turn 4. He still hangs on to 3rd over Bill Oldham and Matt Gardner. Jimmy Stokes, to this point in the season, has 5 heat race victories, and he's 3rd, looking to make a pass of defending champion Mike Lemley for 2nd as the white flag is waving, signaling final lap. Ed Neidhart from Renfrew, Pennsylvania, in car 68, could be taking a first career checkered flag. With only a few years of racing experience, he has gained knowledge from his mentor and tutor, Dustin Blank, and with the checkered flag in the air, Ed Neidhart will win a first career heat race over Mike Lemley, Jimmy Stokes, Bill Oldham, and Matt Gardner. 61 is another teenager, recent first-time winner Ron Eifert III. 6 is Paul Rosa. 20 is rookie Ed Sheltman. 44 is Mary Catherine Shimko. And the 88 is Jared Opachin. Bumper to bumper to bumper in the fight for third in turn number 2. Cars all the way up to the concrete on the outside. Paul Rosa in the 6th dives beneath points leader Jeff Halfhill. Ed Deneen with a huge lead on lap 1. Then the 31 of young Bill Schwartz and the 6 of Rosa taking the second position away quickly. In third and fourth now, battle of teenagers between Schwartz, the youngest competitor in the field, and 19-year-old Ron Eifert III in car 61. American Flyers cars are 4-cylinder front-wheel drive automatic transmission race cars modified only for driver safety, competing on street tires. Many of these drivers getting their first taste of NASCAR competition. And on lap 2, the driver out in front has had many tastes of competition and victory lane. Ed Deneen, the former champion, leading Paul Rosa. Now Ron Eifert III into third position around Schwartz in 31. And the 7 of Halfhill and the 20 of Sheltman. Nearly making contact on the back straight are rookies. Opachin in 88, Sheltman in 20, and they do make contact in turn 4. Bill Schwartz and Jeff Halfhill getting together. Our chief starter, Denny Carson, points the finger at the misbehaving drivers here on the final circuit, and Halfhill and Schwartz are still going at it there in turn 2. Now down the back straight. Out of turn 4, winner will be Ed Deneen taking another checkered flag. Then it's the 6 of Paul Rosa coming home second. Recent feature winner Ron Eifert III is third. And Jeff Halfhill muscles the position away from Schwartz on the final lap. And we're set to go 20 laps of feature action for the Subway Street Stocks. Green flag is out. Manganello out to an early lead as the Subway Challenge driver. Just behind Jason Holder, the veteran, challenging sophomore Teddy Gabala for second. 2 wide also in the battle for fourth as Nicola takes the spot away from Blank. Jason Holder in car 74 trying to make the pass for second position official. He was just behind Gabala at the scoring line. And that side-by-side action for second allows Tony Manganello to jump out to a 4, 5, maybe 6 car length lead now on the front straight. 31 of Shawn Phillips in fourth spot. Heat race winner earlier tonight, the veteran moving to the inside of Gabala as Holder cements himself into the runner-up spot and begins to reel in early race leader Manganello. In fifth, it's the leader's AK chassis teammate Andrew Kostelnik. Working lap 3 of 20, and Manganello's hopes for a first career victory may be getting slimmer as his big lead was chopped down in a hurry by Stoystown, Pennsylvania's Jason Holder in car 74. Shawn Phillips right there. Now it's a 3-car fight up front. Phillips in 31 has not been to victory lane this season, and he is nearly making contact with the backside of the 74 of Holder. He has to get on the binders. That allows Andrew Kostelnik, the winner 2 weeks ago, to move to the outside in a challenge for third position. Door to door on the front straight. Andrew Kostelnik on lap number 5, threatening to take away position number 3 with an outside pass. Leaders play bumper tag as Holder was close enough to reach out and grab the number 50 of Tony Manganello. AK chassis cars now first and fourth. And Manganello looking for his first Subway Street Stock feature victory. Finds Jason Holder directly to his inside on the back straight as we got a problem in turn 2. Ray Cimbali, the rookie, spins car 38. Call subs for everybody. Jason Holder second, Shawn Phillips third, Andrew Kostelnik fourth as the green flag waves. Manganello with a terrific jump on the restart. 4 or 5 car lengths, his biggest lead of the event comes on the restart, pulling away from Holder. Shawn Phillips in car 31 is third and looking to strike. He is very close to Holder, and Andrew Kostelnik started deep in this field. He is up to fourth on lap 7. Second place battle intensifies in turn 3 as Shawn Phillips moves under Jason Holder, nearly 3 wide out of 4, as Holder is in jeopardy of losing 2 positions in 1 full lap. Phillips is into the second spot on lap 8. Andrew Kostelnik is now into third, and Jason Holder is fading. After that restart, Holder dropping back when he was challenging for the lead with Manganello early in this event. Manganello's teammate Kostelnik now third, and Shawn Phillips, driver who has Charger Division victories here as well as Street Stock wins on lap 9, closing in on the leader quickly out of turn 2. Manganello, the Subway Challenge driver of the night in car 50, the Clairton, Pennsylvania driver in his 3rd year of full-time Subway Street Stock competition. Seeing the crossed flags indicating halfway as Shawn Phillips had pulled up to his door on the front straight. Now Andrew Kostelnik nearly kisses the rear bumper of Phillips, and they're door to door for the lead down the back straight. Into turn 3, Shawn Phillips on the bottom. Tony Manganello up high. By a bumper, Phillips has the lead out of turn 4 and will make it official at the scoring line on lap 11. By less than half a car length, Shawn Phillips becomes the race leader. The AK chassis team cars now door to door with Andrew Kostelnik, pulling even to Tony Manganello. Holder hangs on to the 4th spot. Don Blank in 5th with an excellent run for the veteran. On lap 12, AK teammates in nearly a dead heat for 2nd and 3rd spot, and Jason Holder right there. Don Blank, the racing grandfather, is 5th in his 45 car, and all of that fighting for 2nd position has allowed Shawn Phillips to open up a half straightaway advantage with 7 laps to go. Manganello on the back straight in car 50 returns to the sole possession of 2nd place by just about 2 car lengths over the younger brother of defending track champion. That is Andrew Kostelnik, as his big brother has pulled out of this event with mechanical problems, and now Andrew is losing ground to Manganello, and Jason Holder may be finding some more speed as they will be challenging for 3rd position on the back straight. Holder moves up high in car 74. 5 laps remaining. And Don Blank in car 45 is very close to the inside left rear fender of the 74 of Holder. It's about to be a 4-car battle for 3rd as points leader Jonathan Heilman in car 15 nearly makes contact with Don Blank, and now he does, and we've got a spin in turn 4. Bill Henry actually brings out the caution as Don Blank saves it. Into 5th spot as the green flag waves. Andrew Kostelnik is well off the pace with an early start in turn 3. Phillips and Manganello break away from the rest of the pack. Battle for 3rd. It's Jason Holder looking to the outside of Kostelnik. They are still wheel to wheel in turns 3 and 4. Down the front straight, it's Holder by inches, stealing away the 3rd position from Andrew Kostelnik. Just behind them, the battle continues as Heilman and Blank made contact on that last green flag lap. Kostelnik is 4th, Blank is 5th, and here comes the points leader, Heilman. He throws it hard into turn 4, again nearly makes contact with Blank's machine. 3 laps remaining, and the middle of the pack has heated action between Andrew Kostelnik, Don Blank, and Jonathan Heilman. Add Joe Nicola to that, it's a 4-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th positions. 2 laps to go, the signal given to leader Shawn Phillips. Out in front in car 31, the driver who has been a model of consistency in all of his starts throughout 2008, a multiple heat race winner this season, but unable to start week number 1, put a damper on his championship hopes, as last season he threatened for the Subway Street Stock title right up until the last portion of the season. Now in turns 3 and 4, headed for the checkered flag the first time in 2008, Shawn Phillips gets the victory over Tony Manganello. Jason Holder, Don Blank, and by inches the 15 of Jonathan Heilman into 5th spot. Well, here in Victory Lane, the first thing the crew says is, looks like you bent it up a little bit.
Yeah, everybody was checking up in front of me, and my reflexes aren't as good as they used to be.
How many street stock victories is this for you?
I don't know, 7 or 8, I think, I'm not sure.
Let's talk about your career. You started in the Charger division. How long you been racing here at Motordrome Speedway?
Since 1993. I've been about a half a season in 93 and ever since then.
You had a really difficult start to 2008. Let's talk about that and how you've recovered so quickly to be a contender for the win each week.
Yeah, the driver made a mistake on the opening day on practice and got away from me, and I thought I could save it and ran out of talent and rode the wall all the way down to the flag stand. And I've been struggling. Lou Ansel really helped me, my crew chief Garrett, they helped me a lot, and we've been just trying to get a setup. I thought I had a problem in the heat race with the shock. We swapped the shocks, and it brought the car to life.
To life indeed. No shortage of talent tonight, but no shortage of sponsors either. How about thanking the sponsors that made this car so quick tonight?
If you remember last year, I got a cheat sheet. It's been a long time since I've done this, but first I'd like to thank my wife, my 3 kids, my crew chief Garrett, Lou Ansel, Ron Schaefer, he helps me at home, Gina Boots Candy, Advanced Auto, Wilson's Forest Products, Hoos Auto Salvage, Doria's Catering. I'm not going to say all of them. They know who they are. And especially all the fans that came out this week with the heat and humidity. I'm glad to see you here. And also thanks Subway for helping us out.
There you go, a Subway gift certificate for the first time in 2008. It's Shawn Phillips. Green flag is out, 20 laps for the open wheel modifieds. Former 2-time division champion Jim Nicola in car 5 is out in front. The 81 of Pete Reck, a pavement racing rookie, is to his inside and challenging. Reck, who found victory lane surprisingly in the first half of this season as a modified rookie, dirt tracks the car out of 4. Battle for second is the Ship brothers, Bobby in the 04, Brian in the 40 with George Nicola right there. And look at the lead fight wheel to wheel. Pete Reck, the dirt track limited late model ace, taking the position away from Motordrome veteran Jim Nicola. Bobby Ship follows through on the inside. Pete Reck, the leader, the teammate to Harry Ofer, finds Bobby Ship in second spot. George Nicola now in third as he takes that position away from his uncle, the pole starter. And at the scoring line, nearly a dead heat in the fight for the point position. Bobby Ship on the inside. Outside, Pete Reck, a pair of drivers with 1 victory in modified competition on the pavement. Bobby Ship to the inside as a former Charger division champion. And this time, way up the banking goes Pete Reck, opens the door for George Nicola to steal the runner-up position on lap 4. Top 5 now, single file, Bobby Ship, George Nicola, Pete Reck, Jim Nicola, and the winner 2 weeks ago, Gary Scott in car 16. Battle for 4th position, Gary Scott, who launches like a rocket out of turn 2 down the back straight to the inside of Jim Nicola. 2 veteran drivers fighting it out, and now Adam Kostelnik, the 4-time champion, joins that fight. In turn number 1 on lap 6, Nicola losing 2 positions very quickly as Kostelnik, now last week's winner, diving to the inside of Gary Scott. Points leader Kostelnik, the only 3-time winner of 2008, takes the position away from Gary Scott, finding himself now in 4th on lap 7 of 20. Bobby Ship in the 04 has an advantage of about 2 or 3 car lengths over George Nicola, and that lead may be dwindling. Challenge for 3rd position down the back straight. Adam Kostelnik, who started deep in this field, is 4th and closing quickly on Pete Reck in car 81. Working lap number 9 of 20. And Kostelnik sees the inside lane open up as Reck nearly spins in turn 2. The miscue is enough to allow the defending champion into 3rd position. Gary Scott in the 16 gains on that battle as well with the Pete Reck miscue. And at the midpoint of the event, Bobby Ship remains the leader. George Nicola in 2nd, Adam Kostelnik all by himself in 3rd, and Pete Reck was able to close the door on veteran Gary Scott to maintain 4th position. Bobby Ship's lead is holding steady over George Nicola. Nicola, a 2-time feature winner this season and former Subway Street Stock Division champion. In the runner-up spot, unable to gain on leader Bobby Ship at this time. Adam Kostelnik in 3rd on lap 12 now with Pete Reck, continuing to defend 4th position from the challenges of Gary Scott. On the back straight, Scott and Reck wheel to wheel again, headed into turn 3. Reck very comfortable in the outside groove of the speedway. Scott down on the bottom. And again, it's Reck officially at the scoring line, beating Scott to the 4th position on lap 13. Up front, Adam Kostelnik is closing very quickly on the lead duo. The Viglione Racing number 60 in 3rd position here with 6 laps to go. We got a problem in turn number 3. The 6 car of Tom Frank and the 01 of Harry Ofer have tangled. 01 of Harry Ofer, a veteran driver who's been in action since the dirt track days here at Motordrome Speedway. And teenager Tom Frank from the Cleveland suburbs bringing out the caution. Look out with 6 laps remaining. Bobby Ship, George Nicola, Adam Kostelnik, the top 3. And very quickly, Kostelnik moves to the inside of Nicola. The top 2 drivers in the championship points chase, battling for 2nd. The only 2 repeat winners in the division this season. Kostelnik on the inside, Nicola on the outside. Ford versus Chevrolet. And Kostelnik in the Chevy takes the 2nd position away with 5 laps to go. Bobby Ship in car 04, a championship contender this season, has the 4-time champ now nipping at his heels. Into turn 1, Kostelnik looks to the inside on lap 16. No place to go, they make light contact. And look at Kostelnik diving to the inside in turn 3. Can't make the car stick as Bobby Ship continues to lead. George Nicola with 3 laps to go is close in 3rd position should something happen to these leaders. Look at Kostelnik inches away from the back bumper of Ship's machine. Into turn 3 again on the inside. It's Kostelnik hard on the brakes, and Ship maintains the lead in turn 4. Now a slight miscue by the 04 car, and Kostelnik by a bumper takes the lead with 2 to go. George Nicola in car 97 is now threatening to take second spot away, as Bobby Ship made one tiny miscue in turn 4, allowing the defending champ to capitalize. 3-car breakaway from the rest of the field as the white flag signals final time around. Kostelnik's car loose handling out of turn 4, but maintains a car length and a half lead. Bobby Ship in second after leading so many laps of this feature event. And for the final time in turns 3 and 4, the Viglione Racing car number 60 with the 4-time champion on board, Adam Kostelnik, wins again to extend his points lead over Bobby Ship, George Nicola, Pete Breck, and Gary Scott. Adam, there's one thing the fans have come to expect from your Victory Lane interviews, and that's honesty, brutal honesty. Without the caution flag, did you have anything for Bobby Ship tonight?
Absolutely not. He had a good lead. I was catching him, guys, but I was going to run out of time. But tonight's all about Harry Lazater, man. That was just as a horsepower race. I was loose, man. But that extra 6 foot at the end of the straightaway, just where everybody's running out, we were getting them. But this one's for Harry, man. That was all his win there. That was all horsepower.
When you have that kind of horsepower, you're starting deep in the field. Do you know you can do it at the wave of the green flag, or are some weeks after a win when you're starting back at the pack, you're just saying, maybe get some points tonight?
No, I never go for that. I always go for wins, but you got to, you know what I mean? Like Mark Catone says, you got to first finish. And I was just content to ride there in third, and I was being patient. You know, I got this held up there for a little bit, but without that caution, that definitely wasn't me. But like I said, man, that was just a horsepower race, and you know what I mean? Just benefit of a caution. I kept praying there was a caution and it come out. So
a chance to thank your sponsors and crew.
I got to thank Harry Lazater, man. He does the motors. He's the crew chief. But hats off to him tonight, because that motor was really working. We've been tuning it all night. And Buzzy and Donna Viglione, they own the car. Josie, Pouch, Chris and Dez, sister, everybody, Bull and Machine, Lazater Auto Service, TCI Circlematic. But like I said, especially like to thank Harry Lazater, because this one was his tonight.
The points leader again at Motordrome Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Kostelnik. Drivers looking for career first feature victories in the NASCAR Pizza Hut Super Late Models, and the green flag is out. 2 by 2 through the first 2 turns, and Todd Price opens up the lead. Mark Poole breaks loose in the middle of the pack. Poole gathers it back in, nearly collects teammate Richard Mitchell. Everybody's on the brakes, and Poole continues with the green flag out. Battle for second, veteran Mark Catone in car 31, and teenage rookie Nathan Russell in car 26. Russell, the dirt track street stock competitor, now a Motordrome pavement rookie in the NASCAR Super Late Models. Nearly swapping stickers with 2-time champion Mark Catone in car 31. Just behind that battle, Dan Lewis from Monongahela, feature winner in the truck division in years gone by with his car number 8, has defending champion and 2-time winner this season, Bobby Henry, right there with him. As Russell drifts up the banking in turn 4 on lap 3, Mark Catone pulls into second place all by himself, and now it's Bobby Henry challenging the rookie. The Paul Agrudo Motorsports teammates of Henry and Wiltrout in the 11 and 95 cars. Bumper to bumper on the inside. And Henry, by inches at the scoring line on lap 4, takes the 3rd position away from Russell. Dan Lewis and Gary Wiltrout are side by side in the fight for 5th. Just behind them, Richard Mitchell looks on. Todd Price opening up a huge lead over this field. Price, the driver of the Mann's family-owned 51 Motorsports entry, sponsored by the Frankie Day Oldies Show and D&D Office Plus. He's got a lead of nearly a 1/3 of a straightaway over Catone, and in turn 3, a great save made by Dan Lewis in the 8 car. Lewis dropping back a couple of positions, but he nearly lost control and gathered it up like a veteran as Richard Mitchell storms by. Battle for 3rd. The Stone and Company Megan Ford sponsored machines of Gary Wiltrout and Bobby Henry, 2 former track champions and teammates, waging a war for 3rd position on lap 7. Henry to the outside in car 11. Wiltrout in 95, both a Motordrome and Jennerstown track champion in his career. The Palagrudo teammates just in front of rookie Russell. And now Richard Mitchell in car 22, looking to challenge the rookie for a top 5 position. Mitchell, the former NASCAR Busch Series and ARCA Super Speedway competitor, in car 22, the Martinelli's Auto. Howard Concrete Pumping Tom Clark Chevrolet dives to the inside of Russell's number 26 and takes away 5th spot on lap 9. Action just behind Russell's number 26 car finds last week's winner of the Penn West Toyota Lift 100, Neil Brown, in car 98, alongside the 8 of Dan Lewis, and Tommy Beck is right there in car 60. Beck and Brown made contact, battling for the lead on a restart in last week's Crown Jewel event, and they are racing nose to tail on the speedway beneath Nathan Russell and Dan Lewis. And Lewis, again having handling problems, drifts up the racetrack, allows Mark Poole to sneak underneath. Working lap 11, and Neil Brown has passed Russell for 6th. Tommy Beck, a championship contender, looking to gain 7th spot beneath the rookie now. Up front, Todd Price from Alum Bank, Pennsylvania, in car 15, seeking a career first win. We got a spin in turn 2. Mark Poole is down to the apron of the speedway in car 96 after winning his heat race earlier tonight. Back up on the speedway, and we will need a caution flag. Green flag is back out on lap 12. And Steve Black in the 1 runs into the back of the Dan Lewis 8 car on the restart. Significant body damage to the Penn West Toyota Lift Camry number 1. Caution flag is out as a result of Black and the number 8 of Dan Lewis coming together on the restart. Not even sure that Black can see out of that Toyota machine. Green flag displayed. Todd Price leads the field back up to full speed. Price looking for that elusive first victory for himself and for the Mans Family Racing Team. Catone, the multiple-time champion, in 2nd. And look at the Palagrudo teammates still slugging it out for 3rd. In last week's 100-lapper, Gary Wiltrout had to borrow a race car after an engine failure in practice. And now he is wheel to wheel with his teammate, the defending champion. The Stone & Company Megan Fords fighting for 3rd just in front of Richard Mitchell. Meanwhile, up front, Mark Catone has closed the gap to leader Todd Price. As Wiltrout completes the pass for 3rd in turn 3, Catone is just a car length and a half away from stealing the lead from Todd Price. It is lap 15. And Price in car number 15, leading the early stages of this event and feeling the pressure now from the veteran. All the way from Alum Bank, Pennsylvania, Todd Price competes each week at Motordrome Speedway for this, the 2nd season in NASCAR Super Late Model competition. And Mark Catone, whose crew chief brother is a former 4-cylinder track champion here at Motordrome. Catone himself traveled the nation with the ARCA Pro 4 Series before stepping up to Super Late Model action and becoming a champion. And now the 2002 NASCAR Late Model champion, Gary Wiltrout, moves to the outside of Catone. Wiltrout, the opening night winner 2008, door-to-door with Catone. At the scoring line, it will be Wiltrout by inches, officially taking 2nd position away on lap 18. Meanwhile, his teammate Henry is being passed for 4th by Richard Mitchell. Action all over the speedway as Price continues to lead. It's now Wiltrout 2nd, Catone 3rd, Mitchell 4th, Henry 5th, and Tommy Beck in car 60, who has passed Neil Brown, challenging Bobby Henry. The drivers side by side for 5th position are leading the championship points chase. And Beck, who came into tonight's action 1 point behind Henry, steals a position away here in feature competition on lap 19 of 40, with Todd Price remaining the leader by 4 car lengths over Gary Wiltrout. Wiltrout in car 95 has closed the gap to challenge for the lead. Looking to the apron for racing room in turn 2, Wiltrout on the inside of Todd Price, and a new leader on lap 21. Gary Wiltrout puts the Palagrudo Racing team out in front. Todd Price in second, then Mark Catone, and up from way back on the starting grid, Tommy Beck in car 60 is in the 5th position, looking to challenge Richard Mitchell for 4th. Bobby Henry now out of the top 5. As up front on lap 23, 5 cars pulling away. Tommy Beck in the 60, looking to the inside of Richard Mitchell in 22. Beck, the former Jennerstown Speedway champion. Mitchell, the 3-time Motordrome champ. And Mitchell hangs on to the spot on lap 24. Gary Wiltrout quickly reeled in and passed Todd Price, but not able to run too far off with the lead. Catone hangs on to 3rd position in car 31. Just as Richard Mitchell looks to the high side of Mark Catone, he has to worry about the 60 of Tommy Beck stealing that position away on the inside. Mitchell stays in the outside lane, working lap number 26. He is door to door with Catone in turn 2. Now down the back straight, and Beck swings up to the high side. Beck putting his faith in Richard Mitchell to complete the pass as he had nearly passed Catone on the inside. Beck changes lanes. Mitchell still glued door to door with Catone. And 2 former track champions are fighting tooth and nail with Mitchell, getting the 3rd position on lap 27. Beck also to the outside of Catone now. And as Beck takes away a spot on the front straight by inches at the scoring line, Richard Mitchell is already threatening to take the 2nd position away from Todd Price. Beck all by himself now in 4th. Gary Wiltrout, the leader, facing lap traffic in this next lap with the Todd Price-Richard Mitchell battle raging behind him. On lap 29, Wiltrout goes to the outside of the Michael Zombar 64. That allows Price to use that machine as a pick and hold Richard Mitchell at bay with Tommy Beck in 4th. Cody Quarrick in the 6th car, now a lap down to leader Wiltrout. And Price and Mitchell follow through. 10 laps remaining. And Richard Mitchell is challenging Todd Price for 2nd in the same fashion that Tommy Beck is challenging Mitchell for 3rd. 3-car fight behind leader Gary Wiltrout. Price, Mitchell, and Beck. The Stands Transmissions, Benz Motorsports Chevrolet of Tommy Beck in car 60, thinking about 3 wide, but allowing the battle to continue between Mitchell and Price. And now we are 3 wide out of turn 4. Beck on the inside, Price in the middle, Mitchell up on top in car 22. With only 8 laps to go, Mitchell now with his best run on Price down the back straight. Into turn 3. Chevrolet versus Ford as the Martinelli Auto, Howard Concrete Pumping, Tom Clark Chevy of Richard Mitchell takes the 2nd position with 7 laps remaining. Todd Price in 3rd and feeling the pressure of Tommy Beck in the 60. Gary Wiltrout's lead about a quarter of a straightaway over Mitchell. In turn 1, Tommy Beck has the inside lane on Todd Price in car 15. After starting way back in this field, Tommy Beck inches ahead in turn 4 and will take over 3rd position on lap 35. Now all eyes on the front of this field. Gary Wiltrout, who stormed through quickly, and Richard Mitchell, who more methodically picked his way into the runner-up spot. Mitchell is gaining quickly on Wiltrout. Mitchell is winless in 2008 after earning the 2006 NASCAR Pizza Hut Super Late Model Track Championship. Mitchell elected to sit out 2007. And now Wiltrout in car 95 has less than a 2 or 3 car length advantage. He opened it up big time in turn 4 though. Mitchell closed in drastically in turn 3, and Wiltrout is so strong off of turn 4. 3 laps remaining. Wiltrout, the 2002 Motordrome champion, also a former Jennerstown track champion, seeing the signal of 2 laps to go. Wiltrout has won for 3 different race teams here at Motordrome Speedway in his career. He's won for his family-owned operation. He's won for Benz Motorsports. He's won for Paul Agrudo Motorsports. And now we'll have to fend off Richard Mitchell on the final lap. Mitchell loses another couple car lengths out of turn 4, but gains that quickly in turn 1. Tommy Beck is also there waiting to strike. Down the back straight, Wiltrout may get the victory as a result of Beck's challenge. Here comes Mitchell with a last-ditch effort on the outside, and Gary Wiltrout will win his second feature of 2008 over Richard Mitchell, Tommy Beck, Todd Price, and Mark Catone. Well, Gary Wiltrout on a very warm Friday night, 40 laps to victory lane. Last time we talked to you, these were 35 lap features, and you had to be sweating a little bit in that last 5 as you had some guys pouring all over you, former champions included.
Absolutely. I'm a fan of the 35s. I'm getting older.
He's not too old to win, that's for sure. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your Jennerstown career, because we know what you've accomplished here winning for 3 teams. You were a champion over at Jennerstown at one point as well.
Yeah, Jennerstown, just a shame that they're not getting fans, and I recommend anybody that's here go up and see the racing up there, because there's some good racing up there.
Now let's talk about this race team, the Paul Agrudo team. You had to battle side by side with your teammate. When you're alongside Bobby Henry, what are the team orders before a feature event starts?
We really don't got none. I mean, I race Bobby just like anybody else, and Bobby does the same with me, but we just got to be a little more careful when we're around each other.
And a chance now to thank the sponsors and crew.
I definitely want to thank my guys. That's the stuff that we went through this year with motor problems and a few wrecks, and I mean, I got this is for these guys. I mean, and I definitely want to. Without my sponsors, we couldn't be here. With Stone and Company, Megan Ford, Courtyard Catering, Quality Support. Without any of these people, we couldn't be here.
He's back in victory lane for the second time this season. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Wiltrout. Here's division leading winner Jimmy Stokes. Green flag is out, 15 laps for the Chargers. Early leader Bill Oldham in car 5, and look at the heated battle for second. Contact made with the Neidhart 68 from the Gardner 7 car. Behind the leader, there's heated side-by-side action as Bill Oldham opens up a margin. It's now the 7 of Matt Gardner pulling ahead of Ed Neidhart. Neidhart having a career season, now back to 3rd. Then Hamilton in 29 and defending champion Lemley in the 4 are fighting for 4th position. Two of 15 laps are completed. Bill Oldham out in front, a graduate of the American Flyers division, as is the driver in 2nd, the Westco, Nowak Painting 7 of Matt Gardner. Battle for 4th, Mike Lemley with an outside pass of former modified driver Hamilton. Just behind, Stokes is climbing up through the field now side by side with Keller. And Keller nearly goes for a spin in turn 4, gathers it up like only a veteran can, and the green flag stays out, working lap 4 of 15. Up front, sponsorship shared between the MAG Racing teammates of leader Bill Oldham and Matt Gardner from the West Side Lube and Tire Company. Oldham, a 2-time winner this season. Gardner, who lost the championship by only a couple of points last season to Lemley, rides in 2nd. Neidhart in 3rd, and maybe soon feeling the pressure of Mike Lemley in the 4. Look at Stokes making a dive-bombing move to the inside, trading all the stickers with Mike Lemley, and now we got Keller spinning in turn 4 to bring out the caution. Green flag is out. Oldham, Gardner, Neidhart, and Stokes bring them back up to full speed. And look at Lemley. Lemley did a great job predicting that the outside lane would be the place to be on the restart. He storms back around Jimmy Stokes, taking the 4th position and maybe challenging for 3rd just as quickly as it is Lemley taking that spot away from Neidhart. Neidhart now dropping back on lap 7 as Lemley and Stokes storm by. Lemley has 1 victory this season, Stokes has 4. Gardner in 2nd spot looking for his 1st win of the year. Oldham with 2 wins on the season, and it's a fierce fight for 3rd between Lemley and Stokes right now. Both of them gaining on Gardner now as Gardner slips up to the high side. Here comes Lemley powering to the inside, separating the Mag Racing teammates with Stokes glued right to his back bumper. Gardner up to the high side, losing 2 positions. Oldham with a big lead now over Lemley, and Lemley is chasing a car that he once drove to victory lane. Challenge for 2nd, Jimmy Stokes to the inside. The West Newton, Pennsylvania veteran, looking to the inside of Dawson, Pennsylvania resident Mike Lemley, and taking 2nd position away as we begin to work lap number 10. 5 to go, and Oldham is way out in front. Stokes in 2nd, Lemley 3rd, Gardner 4th. Neidhart hangs on to 5th. Lap 11 of 15, Matt Gardner looking to the inside of Mike Lemley. Those 2 drivers had a tooth and nail fight for the points championship in 2007, and Lemley prevailed by only a couple of markers, and we got contact as Neidhart and Hamilton come together in turn 3, and Neidhart goes around. We will need a caution flag for the 68 car. Bill Oldham leading Jimmy Stokes, Mike Lemley, and Matt Gardner as the green flag comes out. Oldham's worst nightmare was a caution flag. Lemley's best friend is a caution flag, as every restart he is able to use the high side to challenge Stokes. There are 3 laps remaining, and we got a spin on the back straight. Bob Garchak goes around, and another caution flag with 3 laps remaining. Green flags back out. Oldham, Stokes, and Lemley up to full speed on the front straight. Now Lemley's using the inside lane to challenge Stokes after having success on the high side on those restarts, and Matt Gardner all crossed up on the front straight. Just another reason we call him Gather It Up Gardner, as he is always hard on the hammer out of turn 4. And that time all elbows down the front straightaway. An excellent save by the 7 car. 3 car breakaway at the front now. Oldham, Stokes, and Lemley. Final time around, will it be Oldham's 3rd win, or Stokes' 5th, or Lemley's 2nd? And Stokes makes an error in turn 1, opens the inside lane for Lemley now. It'll be a tooth and nail fight for 2nd that will allow the former American Flyers division driver in car number 5, Bill Oldham, to take a 3rd career victory. Mike Lemley comes home in 2nd over Jimmy Stokes, Matt Gardner, and Tracy Keller. Oh, Bill, you cannot be a fan of caution flags, as you had a big lead erased and some heavy hitters right behind you for those last 2 restarts.
Oh, I was worried about Jimmy and Mike. They were back there beating on my bumper. I said, I hope I can hold them off.
So they were making contact under caution, not under green, right?
No, I was catching them right time, taking off.
Now let's talk about your career. I know you got a few wins here. You had some wins in the American Flyers, though, also.
Oh, this is much better. You have to earn it here.
And now a chance to thank your crew and sponsors, because Mag Racing Team had some guys all through the top 5.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my crew and Ronnie, Jimmy's crew chief. Definitely my sponsors, Westside Lube and Tire, Coastal Auto Truck Sales, Lester Medical Supply, Used Cars Are Us, Frank Toric Auto, Plumbing and Heating. Definitely the fans. I'd like to thank them. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Another trip to victory lane for Bill Oldham in car 5. Driver here at Motordrome for several seasons. Sheltman and Schwartz in row 2, both looking for first wins, and the green flag is out. 3 wide on the front straight. Ludwig out to the early lead, but look at Schwartz storming through, and the points leader gets crossed up. We are 4 wide briefly in turns 1 and 2. Will we be 4 wide on the back straight? Yes, we will. Ed Deneen on the outside, Opachin on the inside. Leader is the youngest driver in the field, Bill Schwartz in car 31. Look at Paul Rosa in car 6, the Stans transmission machine. Chevrolet Cavalier, car number 6, taking the lead from the Pontiac Sunbird number 31. Dodge Daytona of Jeff Halfhill is 3rd, and the Cavalier of Ed Deneen is fast advancing. And moving into 2nd spot on lap 2 of 8 is the 16 of Ed Deneen. Paul Rosa the leader. Bill Schwartz back to 3rd. Sheltman in car 20, and the 7 of Jeff Halfhill fighting for position. 61 of Ron Eifert is right there as well. Working lap 3 of 8, a pair of Chevy Cavaliers are up front. Look at the battle for 3rd as Jeff Halfhill in the 7 is bouncing through the apron of the racetrack to challenge young Bill Schwartz. And up front in turn 4, we're going to have a challenge for the lead. Bumper to bumper, Deneen and Rosa. Rosa, the sophomore driver with 3 career wins. Deneen, the longtime veteran and former champion. Rosa making that Cavalier as wide as a Cadillac. And look at the battle for 3rd as Schwartz drove right down on the grass to take 3rd back from Halfhill. Leaders are making contact again in turn 4 as they hit bumpers. Action all over the speedway. 3 wide on the front straight. The points leader gets tagged. Then he gets tagged again as they're side by side for the lead. If you can have this much fun with 4 cylinders, who needs 8? Look at the leaders door to door in turn 4. It's still Paul Rosa by less than a car length. Now trading stickers in the 3rd position battle. It's Schwartz and Eifert. This time around, the white flag will be displayed for the leaders. Deneen finally gets to his preferred inside line, and Rosa by inches on the front straight hangs on to the lead, then slams the door hard on Deneen. They nearly hit the inside wall. Now look at Rosa dive to the inside. Unbelievable action on the final lap. Is this a race of the brake pedal or the gas pedal? Now look at Deneen coming up to the top side. Head of steam at the finish line. It's going to be Rosa by less than a car length over Ed Deneen. Ron Eifert, the 3rd, comes home in 3rd. Then Bill Schwartz and Ed Sheltman. Paul, you're a pretty easy-going guy when we talk to you here in Victory Lane, but you sure had the fans all fired up with that last couple of laps. Was that as much fun from the cockpit as it looked like it was from the stands?
It was fun. I sort of feel bad. tried to race Ed clean, but he's so fast. I was just trying to do everything I could to hold him off. And I probably pushed the line a little bit there. So, hey, Ed, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Well, still a hard-fought victory, and the fans loved every minute of that one. Let's talk about this race car now. You work on this car a little bit during the week, or are you just the driver?
Very, very little. If I have to, I will. My family, it's sort of hard for me to get down in the garage every day. So I got to rely on my car owner, Frank Pagnotta, and, Adam Kostonik and all them guys down there, Tony Maganello and Butthead and everybody, Josh.
And a chance to thank your sponsors.
AL Lolo Construction, Mad Max Graphics, Chair Band Tire, Stance Transmission, Top Notch Motors, and Howie Bayless.
There he is, race fans. Paul Rosa in victory lane once again.